Hey everybody, I'm sorry I can't be in class today. I will be off campus at a science planning meeting. So I wanted to make a quick video to introduce a project that you're going to be starting on this week. This project, I want you to pay special attention to the instructions because this will take the place of a test for this unit. Okay, so we will not have a chapter test for this unit. Instead, you'll be working on a group project, which I think is good. Before I give you the details on that, I'd like to bring your attention to a couple key dates. So if you would, at this time, even though I'm not there in front of you, take out your planner or your calendar or something to write with, and be sure you jot down these couple important dates coming up. On the board right behind me, or you'll see on the main haiku page in the top right corner, three important dates coming up. The first one is your wiki site absolutely needs to be updated by Wednesday. That's tomorrow. There are just no new assignments that need to be on there. This is all old work that we've already done. You just need to make sure that you're caught up and up to date. If you need a reminder of what needs to be on your wiki site, look just below these dates on the haiku page. And there's a hyperlink here with a checklist, okay? I believe there's 7 assignments that you need to make sure that you have on there, and I'll be checking those beginning tomorrow after school, so make sure those are updated. The second important date I want you to be aware of is your project due date, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But the due date is going to be on Monday the 9th. For 6th period, that's going to be Tuesday the 10th for you guys, all right? So a week from today. That's really not a whole lot of time. You'll see in a little bit that there's quite a bit to do, so you need to use your time in class wisely. Finally, the final exam is going to be Wednesday the 18th. We will have time to do review next week. So we'll have 3 or 4 days next week that we can do some review to get ready for that. Okay, so as far as the project goes, here is where you can find the details. If you scroll down on the haiku page to the same unit page that we've been working on, Mendelian Heredity, click on that page and at the top you'll see a brief description of the overall idea. This is the goal that we're trying to do, okay? So here's the scenario. For you 6th period people, your group is going to be the people you're sitting at your lab table with, okay? So there should not be any groups larger than 4, definitely all groups bigger than 2. And here's the scenario. Your group is going to pretend that you're part of a research and development team for a biotech firm, okay? So this hypothetical company wants to stay ahead of the curve by making these sort of biological, nature-inspired prototypes. Your current project involves you creating a new organism that will in some way benefit humanity with its unique set of traits. So your goal is to basically design a new GMO and then submit a research proposal or a plan of how you would create this thing and how you would roll this thing out. All right? Sounds a little bit daunting, but it's really important that you learn how to do a research proposal. You will do these in college for sure. You will do them later on in your work life. So it's a useful document to learn how to do. So we're going to do this one this semester, and we're actually going to do another one next semester. In order to kind of guide you along this process, we are going to use the design thinking process, okay? So to give you details on that, if you would kind of follow my cursor, and below this, this scenario heading, you'll see a link to a document, project details and links. If you click on that, you'll pull up a document that looks just like this, okay? So I just read you what the scenario is. I want to be absolutely clear on what the deliverables are. These are the things that you will be graded on. So there's 3 deliverables, all right? The good news is the discovery phase you've already done. This is what we've been doing in class. It's what you've been doing with the GMO project. You know about heredity and genetics, so you're good to go on the discover phase. The empathize phase is where I'd like you to start today. So your goal today is to do this empathize phase, all right? You're going to work with your group to discuss a couple real-world scenarios that I've presented for you that will help you form your own opinion on how you would handle certain ethical decisions revolving around GMOs. To do that, if you kind of scroll down a little bit on this document, you'll see this heading that says the details, empathize mode. You're going to click on this document called genetic changes, okay? When you open up this document, it looks very similar to the typical activities we do in class almost every day. This is what you should work on today. This is your goal, okay? If you get through this document and record your responses and have good discussion with your group, you're pretty much on target for the project. What this activity basically is at the beginning there's a short article to read. It's just kind of getting you back in the swing. It's a very small amount of research. It's like a 1.5 page article. So read that quietly with your group first. Once you've gotten through the article, you'll see this section that starts the analysis questions, okay? So the analysis questions are asking you to form an opinion based on these 3 scenarios where you have A, B, and C, okay? So read those little scenarios one at a time, discuss them with your group, and then capture whether you're for or against GMOs in this little table down here, okay? Once you do that, go ahead and move forward to questions 2, 3, and 4. I know some of you will probably ask, do we have to write this in paragraph form or can I just write notes or bullet points? Please write it in paragraph form. The reason for that is because this information down here will eventually find its way onto a formal proposal document, a formal paper that you're going to turn into me. So make sure you spend time with your group. Not everybody in your group has to do it. You can do a joint one, but make sure you do a good job on these questions 2, 3, and 4. Finally, question number 5, I want you to begin brainstorming what this new GMO might be that you're going to design, okay? Couple guidelines here. It needs to be something that will make an impact, something that will benefit humanity in some way, okay? So if you're thinking about crossing a narwhal and a horse to make a magical unicorn, that's probably not going to fly with me. Something better will be something that will cure a disease, something that will make clean drinking water. I think you guys kind of have an understanding of what the difference is between something that will make an impact and something that's just kind of silly or fun, okay? So this document is your goal for today. Start there. But let me move forward just a little bit to highlight what you're going to be doing the rest of the week. I just jumped back to the project details page. And you'll notice that the next deliverable is what's going to be the experiment phase. So the experiment phase is basically going to be a written paper, this written proposal. If you're feeling ambitious today, you can look down here, the details for the proposal. I've written you a very detailed template that you can use. Your final proposal will probably end up being somewhere on the order of 5 or 6 pages. Some of that is table of contents, some of that is some charts and figures and things like that. So it's not quite as bad as it sounds, but it is going to take some time. So make sure you get through the empathize phase today so that tomorrow you can jump on working on the proposal. Finally, the third and final deliverable that you'll need to turn into me is in the produce phase. You will do a presentation for me on Tuesday for 6th period, Monday for my other classes. This presentation will be an Ignite style presentation, which I can tell you more about when I'm back in class tomorrow. But I believe you've done something similar in history class, the PechaKucha style presentation, 20 slides, 15 seconds a slide. So you end up with a 5-minute sort of quick hitting presentation. That's what you'll be doing for me next week. To help you with that part, if you'll look down again in the details, this link to a blog from a sort of presentation guru is a really, really nice template or plan for how you can go about putting together this presentation. So when you get to that point later on this week, read this blog. It'll be very helpful. And finally, there's another little document here that I've linked to called the Presentation Planner. Don't worry about it for now. We'll do that together later on in the week. Just to give you an idea of how you'll be graded, if you scroll down, there are 2 rubrics. One for the proposal itself. You'll notice that teamwork is a large component. The actual content of the proposal itself is 50%. And then composition, which is sort of like formatting and neatness and organization and things like that, is 25% as well. So make sure you pay attention to detail when you're writing this document so that you earn full points for that part. Finally, the presentation the rubric for your presentation is down below. All right, and so you can kind of scan over the guidelines there, but keep in mind, don't even start thinking about the presentation yet. Your goal today is to get through the empathize mode, and maybe if you're super ambitious, into the experiment mode. Okay? Before I let you go, I want to keep two things at the top of your mind. All right? When you get in your group, I want you to discuss how your group will make decisions. Okay? Oftentimes when you're working in groups, it feels like you get stuck in quicksand. You might waste an entire day and not have much accomplished at the end of the day. So you need to talk with your group about who's going to make decisions and how you're going to move yourself forward. The second thing to keep at the top of your mind is the roles that each member in your group is going to play. Who's going to be responsible for what? Who's going to maybe lead the charge on discussions? Who is going to start doing some research for the group? Who's going to come up with a game plan for when you are going to make these little checkpoints for yourself? So make sure you spend some time with your group deciding how you're going to get all of this work done by Monday. I really don't want you to have to work over the weekend, so use your time in class. Okay? I think that's all I have for today. You know where to go to find your checklist for what needs to go on the wiki site. I've now gone over the basics of what this project is going to be, which again will take the place of a test. And so now, without further ado, go for it. Work hard today and have fun. Thanks.